Hi, my name is Susan. I run the Make Lively Knitting Machine repair shop in San Diego, California. And today I have with me a Toyota KS787 knitting machine. I work mostly on brothers, so I found this machine fascinating, and I couldn't find any good videos out there showing all the different features of it, especially the ones that are different than a brother knitting machine. So I thought I'd make a quick little video to help show you how to use it, and I hope it helps some people out. The mounting on this table is way further out over the edge towards you than the brothers, so you really want to make sure those clamps are down tight and it's not going to fall off. You're going to need to use two hands on this machine if you're doing any kind of patterning, because it uses a clutch over here, which I'll tell you more about later. I like using this Husky adjustable table. It's sturdy and I can get the height just right for me on any given day. The Carriage, mounting up the Carriage on the machine is similar to brothers, but you really need to be very careful that it is threaded on both the back rail and the front rail. This is correct. I cannot lift this up. It is stuck on there in the front and the back. If you have somehow just managed to put it on the back and you can go like this, this is incorrect. It will not knit. And it's a little fussy to get on, but just go slow, and there it is. It's on there just fine. You can put sewing machine oil on the front and back rails. You can put it on the Carriage. I'll show you more about that later. That will help it slide smoothly back and forth. Here's a big difference from the brothers. This has a clutch over here. This clutch you use for quite a lot of things on this machine when you're knitting, especially if you're patterning. You need to have both hands available to work with. So I'm going to do my favorite testing cast on, where I take about, let's do 30 to 30. This is a standard gauge machine, so you get the standard gauge tool. 30 to 30. Small back. You thread your yarn into the back plain feeder. I usually start at 5. This is a really thin yarn. Hopefully it cooperates with me with the static today. Go across, put on a clippy, hang a comb. That's a really long comb, but that's too short. That's just right. Second yarn. Okay. Hang your comb. Bring the rest of the needles back out to work. I'm sure this is a repeat for most of you, but just in case. And then I hold here and go across. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good tension-wise. Hang some weights. I'm just doing a little test swatches. This is how I test most machines. So let me do some stockinette. Try that. Oh, which way was I going? Aha! I can show you when you get stuck. It won't go back and forth. Here's what you can do. You can first unwind those. Take this off. It's not caught around anything. Take the yarn out. Lift these two levers and it will lift up. See that? And then you can slide it out of the way. I don't know what we got caught on, so we'll just bring some out. Make sure that everything is on there correctly. Tighten these down. This is your sinker plate. Make sure it's on there properly. Come around underneath. Thread it back up. We are going to try to do tuck. To practice tuck, I'm going to use this 1x1 punch card that came with the Toyota. It's the number 1. This is where you want to, if you're used to other machines, go slow, read the manual, because you'll put the card in, you'll do a couple clicks, and then it won't click anymore. And why won't my card read? You have to push in the clutch, and then it will turn like a normal card. So when in doubt, check the clutch. Put a couple little punch clips on. Remember, I want to turn it back, but I have to push in the clutch. There's different kinds of tuck shown. There's tuck stitch knitting, tuck stitch in 2 colors, and then tuck pattern knitting. I'm going to show you tuck pattern knitting, and I'll come back to the other kinds in a different video. So for this, you have your card in. We need to set our carriage, which is, so your book says you're going to go to the left with pattern set, and the card reader, the C over there. And you're going to go across. This just selects every other. Perfect. Now, the manual says you're going to push in tuck and tuck. These two, tuck, tuck. It says tuck on there, or it'll say it, yeah, it says tuck on there. Okay? And then you're going to go back and forth to knit. My yarn is caught. Okay, let's see. It lays the yarn over. Takes it off. The card is moving forward. You're going to want to move your weights up a little bit more as you go. Maybe put another one down on the bottom. I'm going to do a few more rows so that I can show this to you at the end. Great, it looks like that's working great. The next will be slip. Let's do some plain row. So I put the plain, I took off all the tuck buttons, I put these two to plain, and I put this one over here so it's not reading the card reader. These little tabs are at 0, they've been there the whole time, and this has just been on plain knitting. So I'm going to do some plain rows so we have some division. Well oiled. I just have a rag to wipe off some oil sometimes. Okay, so for slip loop knitting is what it's called in this manual. I'm going to go pattern, pattern C and go across. Then, I'm going to push in the 2 empty, so it'll be empty, empty. Everything else stays the same, and I'm going to go slip. It should feel different. So now we're going to do some fairisle knitting on this KS787. And the first instructions are cross. So I did pattern, pattern, and this C over here. Okay? Our punch card is in. We thread our... Okay, I lost the camera for fairisle, but here we go again. I'm putting the secondary color, which is black in my case, in the section that says it's in the front. It says color, it's very handy. And then, look at your manual, it says go color on this little dial. So everything. And then it's hooked in. I like to hook it on with the weight. And then knit. And the camera is focusing on the yarn. Okay. I see people sometimes whipping back and forth with their machines. Those are people that are very familiar with their own machine. I recommend about the pace I'm going. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow when you're trying to test out a new machine. Once you get used to it and the yarn, you can adjust your speed. Okay, so that gives us some samples. I'm going to take samples of the fairisle. I'm going to take this out. Then we get to the fun one. I'm going to do some plain rows. So plain, 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 no buttons. This on the no card. Do some plain. This punch card I'm taking out. To do that, you push in the clutch, and then you can turn it or pull it out. I think it might have been messing up our zigzag. It's part of testing. We can confirm that. And let's try again. We are going to push 1, 3, 5, 6, 7. The zigzag will be on 1. Release the clutch. Pattern, pattern, no pattern. Yeah, see, it's selected different ones. So just take that punch card out if you're going to be using the buttons. Then you switch to color. And knit the first one. Clutch, rack to 2. 1, 2. Clutch, rack to 3. Clutch, rack, release. Move your weights up. Try and remember if you did the racking. I don't remember now. Might make a mistake here. 12, but it says to go back. So then you just turn it back to 2 again. So you can see when I clean these machines and you run them, you'll get some oil dragged along there. You just wipe it with a dedicated cloth that's just for your oil. Okay. Also, if you just had a machine service by me, you might want to use a ruler to push these around because you're going to have a little bit more oil on your fingers. I try not to overdo it, but it's definitely more than most people are used to. So the back side, we started with stockinette. Just plain knitting. This is the tuck. Then we did slip. The slip pulls in, the tuck expands out. Then we did 1 by 1. So I'll show you the other side. There's stockinette, tuck, slip. You can hardly see, but it pulls it in. 1 by 1. And then I tried to do the zigzag, the racking with the punch card in. So you might be able to fill around with this and make it into a feature of something, but this is a combination of the punch card and the push button pattern. I did not see the punch card moving, so I don't think this is the way you would normally use it. You'd have to be very clever. But if you do it correctly with the racking, it looks pretty cool. I love it. That's so cool. And it's fun to do. It's just a little dance you do. I like it. I like this machine. Make sure you have a clean sponge bar. Make sure the sponge bar is sponged down on top of the needles inside. If these needles are bouncing up and down, then your sponge bar is not in right and it will not knit. Any machine. Sponge bar has to be clean, has to be relatively new, and it needs to be on top of the needles, sponged down. Let me show you again to remove these buttons. Push forward, push forward, push forward. Okay, this is little letters. Toyota KS787. Find this manual, download it from mkmanuals.com.